What's up guys, it's Paraly5er here, and today we're going to be doing another tier list video. Shock, I know. Today we're going to be covering a tier list on the bugs in Grounded. Now the way I'm going to be ranking this is based off of how difficult the bugs are to kill, and what rewards you get for killing them. So, for example, if a bug is really easy to kill, and the rewards are really good, it's going to go in a high tier, like an S tier. If it's really difficult to kill, and you don't really get much from it, then it's going to go down in one of the lower tiers, like D tier. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I got all my bugs here along the bottom, and they're in alphabetical order, so thank you very much again to whoever made this tier list, I really appreciate it. First, we got the Antlion. Now, the Antlion is somewhat difficult to kill. It depends if you've killed a lot of them before. But the rewards for killing an Antlion is the Antlion parts and pincers, which are really good for making your first set of tier 3 armor. So this has to be an A tier for me. They're somewhat difficult, but honestly, if you've got like a Black Ant sword, which you usually would, as you would have to go through the Black Ant nest typically to get into the sandbox, then you're going to be pretty set here, honestly. These things, they're pretty easy to kill as long as you can learn their attack patterns. Their first attack is always that berry attack that they can do, and you can actually hit them while they're underground. The pit antlions are obviously slightly stronger, but I'd probably still put them in A, just because the rewards you get are really good and really worthwhile, because you're going to need the parts. They're also really good, another thing to mention, because it's only 3 antlion parts for 1 repair glue. So you can farm these guys in the late game if you're trying to craft a lot of repair glue. So they're definitely an A tier. Next we have the Aphid, or Aphid, as most of you love to correct me on in the comments. Obviously an Aphid's really easy to kill. It drops raw meat. There's nothing really special about the meat. I guess I put this in B tier. It's kind of middle of the road, you know. Easy to kill. The drop isn't bad. At least it drops something, and it's food, right? If you're gonna... A lot of people kill these guys just for food, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I'd probably put this in a B tier. Next, we have the Arc R. Now, I do believe if you kill this, you get 100 raw signs when you loot it. They're not too difficult to kill, but I'll probably put it in C tier. 100 raw signs isn't a lot, and they don't drop anything else, so they're not really worth killing. Unless you're going for gold cards, obviously very easy to get the gold card from these guys. But if you're just trying to beat the game, you can just run past these guys. If you're just trying to get that final game completion, you just run past them, you know? You don't need to kill them. They don't drop anything you need. One thing I really wish, you know, devs, if you're watching, this would be really cool. Currently, there's no, like, mechanical aspect to the game, and I'd love it if when you kill the robots, they dropped some sort of parts that you could then use to make, like, your own robots around your base that would do tasks for you. Like, you could set up a robot to plant stuff, for example, in the like the farmland in the game. You know, you can make little planter boxes. If you could make your own robot that would plant stuff and harvest it for you, that would be so sick. Because currently those planting boxes just aren't that useful. Next, we have the Black Ox Beetle. I think I have to put this in A tier again. Like, the drops for this thing, you get what do you get? Black Ox horns, Black Ox parts, Tough Gunk. All 3 of those things are really useful. You need a lot of Tough Gunk for tier 3 weapons. You need Black Ox parts and horns for, obviously, the hammer and the armor. The armor isn't great, in my opinion, but the hammer you obviously need to progress the game. They're pretty difficult to kill, but again, they're not crazy, you know? I feel like once you've got, like, a Club of the Mother Demon, Salty, you can kill these guys pretty easily, so it's going to have to be an A tier for me. Black Soldier Ants... Ooh, I'm going to have to put these in B tier. And this is because all you need to kill these guys for is a Black Ant sword. You don't even need to kill them for the shovel. They're pretty strong. Pretty goddamn strong. I'll be honest, these guys are strong boys. If you don't have like a spear, say you're just running like a sword or something like I usually do, I don't usually carry a spear, then these guys are pretty tough. And I would say their drops aren't really worth it. Because most people don't craft the Black Ant armor, and you can't use their parts to make repair glue either. So it's going to have to be a B tier for me. Obviously, I forgot to mention Black Ox parts you can use for repair glue, and the horns can also be used for the tier 3 rocks. So they're pretty useful. Next, we have the Black Widow. I'm going to be honest, people are going to hate me for this. This is an S tier. It just is. If you play the game properly, from start to finish, you will find orb weavers and wolf spiders in the early game, and if you can learn to perfect block their attack patterns, by the time you get to the Black Widow, you'll be able to block every single attack from the Black Widow. So the game prepares you perfectly for fighting this enemy. It drops Black Widow Fangs and Super Spider Venom, both of which you need for the full set of Widow armor, as well as the Spider Fang Dagger. The only thing that you don't get here is you can't use their parts for anything else, like repair glue. There's another feature I'd love to see added. Currently, to craft tier 3 plates, you can only use Black Ox horns. I'd love to see the devs add some sort of plate pressing item to the game, similar to the repair glue station, but it makes plates, and it doesn't just use Black Ox horns, so it would add multiple recipes for the plates in the game. So, for example, you could use the Black Widow Fangs or the Super Spider Venom to make tier 3 plates, as well as Black Ox horns, as well as other stuff like maybe tiger mosquito beaks or something like that. Just some more variety so that I can use more stuff to make my tier 3 plates if I need them later on in the game, for those people that are trying to upgrade lots of sets of armor. But it has to be an S tier enemy. The game prepares you perfectly for it. It's not too difficult to kill if you've played the game a lot, but the difficulty of killing it pays off once you kill it, because you can make some amazing items from its drops. Has to be an S tier. Next we have the Black Worker Ant. I'm going to put this in A tier. I can't see any reason not to. It drops black ant parts and black ant heads. You need these for the shovel, the sword, and the armor. Again, I don't really use the armor, but you need them for the shovel and the sword. I can't see any reason why these would be any lower. They're really easy to kill, so you can't expect them to give you a crazy amount of drops for how easy they are to kill, you know what I mean? So it's got to be an A tier, I think. Bombardier Beetles. I might just put these in S, you know. They're a relatively early on enemy, but they drop Bombardier parts, which you need for the jerky rack. You need them, you can use them to make repair glue. You can use them for Bombardier raids. You can use which you can use to farm boiling glands, obviously. You can use them to make the Broodmother BLT, which you need as well to make Mantis kebabs, because you have the Broodmother chunks from the killing Broodmother. You use the boiling glands for the oven. You use the boiling glands for the cookery. There's so many uses for all the parts that this enemy drops. And he's not crazy difficult to kill. Like, if you're good at the game, you can kill a Bombardier with, like, a tier 1 axe. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to put this in S tier. It's a really well-balanced enemy. Director Schmechter. Let's think. I think I'm going to put this in A tier, potentially. Actually, I'm going to move a couple of these down real quick. Yeah, because this guy just drops 100 raw science. I'm going to move him down to D. Director Schmechter is going to go in an A because I think he gives 1,000 raw science, and he also gives you the disc, which unlocks the Sour Battle Axe recipe, which I'm not a huge fan of personally, but it does unlock tier 3 rock recipes, so I can't deny that this is pretty useful. You're going to need to kill him as well if you're trying to get a lot of tier 3 upgraded weapons. Diving Bell's D tier. Do I even need to say the name of the enemy? It's a D tier enemy. It is really easy to kill, but the drops for this thing are dreadful. You get a Diving Bell Spider Chunk and Web Fiber. If you're trying to get Web Fiber, go kill some Spiderlings. Go kill some Black Widowlings. If you're trying to get Diving Bell Spider Chunks, what are you doing? I think you only need Diving Bell Spider Chunks for, like, maybe 1 or 2 recipes in the entire game. What do you even need it for? You need it for the Bone Dagger and the Bone Trident. I think that's it. If there's anything else I'm missing, it's probably not very important. So this is a D tier enemy. The drops just aren't very good. We've got Dust Mites next. Now, you're going to need to kill these guys for a couple of the weapons, a couple of pieces armor, and one of the meals in the game. They're easy to kill, but one of those enemies that are really annoying, you know? They slow you down, they get in the way a bit. Probably a C tier. I'm kind of putting C tier as enemies you don't really need to kill to beat the game, really. You don't need to kill a Dust Mite to beat Grounded. You could completely ignore the Dust Mites for the entire game, because all you need them for is like a Rusty Spear, which you don't even need to beat the game, obviously. So you could just ignore these guys completely, leave them alone, and you wouldn't really miss out on too much, so C tier enemy. We got the Firefly next. This is the D tier. I'm sorry, but are they easy to kill? Sure. You kind of need to use ranged weapons, though, because melee weapons, they don't really come into melee range too much. They slow you down, which makes them annoying as all hell. They're so annoying. What do you craft with the Firefly stuff? A stuffed Firefly, the Firefly helmet, like, There's nothing useful you can craft with Firefly stuff in the game right now, so it's a D tier. It's pretty useless. Next, we've got the Fire Ant Soldier. Now, where do we put the Fire Ant Soldier? In terms of Fire Ant Soldier, the only unique drop they have is the Fire Ant Mandibles, and you only need these in order to craft the Spicy Staff, Fire Ant Club, and Fire Ant Chestplate. The Fire Ant Armor is really good. The Spicy Staff can be good, and the Fire Ant Club isn't a terrible weapon. So I'm going to put these in B tier. They are definitely worth killing to try and upgrade your gear. The Fire Ant Armor is a worthwhile thing to go for. The Spicy Staff is alright. And the Fire Ant Club as well is okay. If you're trying to upgrade your club to tier 3 and you're somehow oblivious to the fact there is a Broodmother Club in the game, then the Fire Ant Club could be one to go for. Next we have the Meaty Gnats. D tier. These things provide nothing new. They just drop the same stuff as a regular gnat. And you don't need to kill them. They provide gas on their dead bodies, which is really annoying when you're trying to loot them. And their only thing they're good for is if you need a lot of meat from very few enemies for some strange reason. Because these guys can drop 2 or 3, maybe, I think it's just 2, but it could be 3. I don't even know because I don't kill them very often. They drop more meat than the average enemy in the game. That's the only thing they're good for. D tier enemy. They're easy to kill, but they're just useless. They don't need to be there. They're so useless, I used the wrong card there. This is a regular gnat. The meaty gnat can stay in D tier. A regular gnat, I guess, can go in C. They're slightly easier to kill. You need the drops. Actually, B. You need the drops to make the gas mask. They're easy to kill. Not very good food source. If you're struggling to kill these guys, by the way, and you don't have, say, like a ranged weapon, my recommendation, this is a really good one, drop some mushroom slurry on the floor, and all of the gnats will fly towards the mushroom slurry. And if you kill them before they can eat it, then you just get a ton of gnats and a lot of gnat fuzz. Very good tip right there if you're trying to kill gnats for some reason. Maybe you need the gold card. Also, obviously, at nighttime, they're attracted to the lamps in the game. So if you go to a lamp, you'll find a lot of gnats there as well. Apologies for the confusion with the meaty gnat and the regular gnat there. We have the green shield bug next. This is probably a C tier. It's a pretty tanky boy. You pretty much need a tier 3 fresh weapon if you want to kill this guy. He's pretty strong. You don't need to kill him. There's no reason to kill this guy. What do you need his parts for? Like, super stink arrows, charcoal torch. That's like it, really, isn't it? There's not really much you can craft with this guy's parts, so I'm going to have to put him in a C tier. You don't need to go and kill him. You can avoid him all game, and you'd still be able to beat the game pretty easily. Broodmother. Now, I'm going to put the Broodmother in A tier. If it's your first time killing the Broodmother, it isn't too difficult, you know? If you've been killing orb weavers and wolf spiders as you've been going through the game, you get to the Broodmother, and it has very similar attack patterns, just slowed down. So you've got to slow down your blocks. Obviously, there's a few ads, like spiderlings and orb weaver juniors during the fight, which can get in the way a little bit, but they're not too bad. If it's your first time doing this fight, you know, you take some bombs with you, drop them in the middle of the fight, and it'll kill all of the little guys running around. The reason it's not S, although the drops are amazing, because you can make the Club of the Mother Demon and the mask guaranteed on the first kill, the Scream attack. That's the reason this drops down to an A tier. That Scream attack is so annoying, and it lowers your attack power, and it's just frustrating. When you're trying to beat the boss fight, it's just annoying. And for that reason, I can't put it S, bro. Like, devs, add an armor piece that is earplugs, and I will wear earplugs every time I fight the Broodmother. I will put the earplugs on as long as it makes me immune to Scream attacks. I will wear them, honestly. Please, man, please. Next, we've got the Infected Gnats. I guess D tier. They don't have any unique drops. They just drop the same stuff as a regular gnat with fungal growth on top of it. They're annoying as hell. They steal your weapons mid-fight, and then you're screwed and you're getting attacked. And the problem is, if you're a two-handed weapon user and they steal your weapon, you can't block anymore. So all of a sudden, you're just getting absolutely destroyed by every enemy in the game. And it becomes really difficult. So for that reason, they're D tier. They're just annoying. They're just frustrating. That's the point of them in the game, though. They're there to be frustrating. I don't want them removed, you know what I mean? They're meant to be frustrating, and they're frustrating. Obviously, they're easy to kill, but they're just annoying, so they gotta go D tier. Infected Ladybug. It's basically a stronger ladybug. It's pretty strong, pretty annoying. I'm gonna go C tier. Doesn't have any unique drops per se. Obviously, it drops fungal growth, but that's not really a unique drop. You can just get that breaking the fungal growth that's in the haze. There's nothing unique that it drops. It's pretty strong. Its explosive attacks can't be blocked, which is really annoying. You've basically just got to run away. So it's going to be a C tier for me. Infected Lava, for the same reason, is C tier. Same with the Mite. I quite like the Weevil. The Weevil is a unique enemy in a sense. I'm going to drop these two down to D, because the Lava's explosive attack is annoying. They attack you in packs. Lava in general are just annoying in the game. And in terms of the Mites, again, they're just really annoying. They lower your block strength, I think, if they hit you. They don't hit you very often, though. They're pretty bad. Infected Wolf Spider has to be a D. I'm sorry. This thing is really strong. There's certain combos it does that you can't perfect block, because the explosive attacks can't be perfect blocked. And he drops nothing unique whatsoever. You could play the entire game, not plug the haze, never ever ever have to fight this guy, and your life would be 100 times better. So, D tier. Ladybird Larva, D tier. You never need to kill a Ladybird Larva in the game, ever. They have no unique drops. Well, they have the Insulating Lava Spike. Okay, C tier. They have one unique drop, the Insulating Lava Spike. But other than that, I never want to see these guys ever again. They're really strong, really annoying, and they've probably killed me more than any enemy on this list. They just kill you in one combo sometimes. They're just really, really strong. Ladybird. B tier, I guess. It has a unique drop in the Ladybird shell now, which it didn't used to have. Also very good for farming Tough Gunk. I can't really put it any lower because it does have a unique drop, which you need for the Ladybird shield. But other than that, it's a relatively difficult enemy. Very similar attacks to a Ladybug, but nothing like crazy different. So I'll put it in a B tier. I don't know why the regular Ladybug is so far down, but we'll do this while we're at it. Ladybug, is it an S tier enemy or an A tier enemy? I might put it in S tier, you know. Yeah, you need the Ladybug head to craft the tier 2 axe. You need the Ladybug parts to craft Ladybug armor, which is really good. You can use its parts to make repair glue. Overall, I can't really fault the Ladybug. It's a really well-balanced enemy. It is strong, but you can perfect block all his attacks if you learn the patterns and stuff. It's going to be an S tier from me. The regular Larva. These guys are really annoying. They do drop acid glands and lava spikes. B tier. Unique drops, but, well, not unique because all the lavas drop them. But you can use the lava spikes, D tier, honestly. You can use the lava spikes to make the lava blade, but I'm not a huge fan of it. There's not really much other uses for the lava spikes. I guess you can use them for the tier 1 rocks, upgrade rocks, but if you're trying to farm them, you're probably better off killing one of the other two types of lava. It's just a C tier enemy, really. Lawn Mites, very, very easy to kill. Very important to note that. The Mite Fuzz isn't too useful, though. So I'm going to put these in B tier. Yeah, the Mite Fuzz isn't really that useful. You can use it for Aphid Slippers, which I know a lot of people love in the comments. You can also use it to craft Acorn Helmet, costs 5. The Mite Fuzz Helmet costs a bit as well. So I think I'll put it in a B tier. It's useful for some early game stuff. The Mantis. C tier, I think. You could beat the game having never beat the Mantis, which is important to note. It drops Mantis stuff, which you can use to make Mantis armor, which I don't think is that good, the assassin armor. You can use it to make the Scythe of the Blossoms, which is pretty good, but it's nothing crazy, you know what I mean? It does give you the Apex Predator mutation, which is amazing, one of the best mutations in the game right now, until they probably nerf it in the playtest, which is coming out the day I'm filming this. He is broken, okay? You're probably wondering, yo, he gives some good drops, why is he so low down? He's broken. You can also drop the Mantis Trinket, which I didn't mention, but it took me 370 kills, so we don't talk about that. 373, to be precise. He's going in C tier, because he's broken. They removed the pollen attack, and they made it so the scream attack now reduces your parry window. They made it so that even if you perfect block every attack from the Mantis, you still get all the debuffs. You can perfect block his attacks, you still get bleed. You can perfect block his other attacks, he'll nerf your damage. It makes no sense. I don't know if it's a bug or it's intentional, but it's annoying. Please, devs, if you can do something about that, I beg. It is the most frustrating thing in the world when I'm perfect blocking every attack from this Mantis and I'm getting every debuff in the world. It's so frustrating. For that reason, it's a C tier. I tried killing this thing on Woe and I struggled. I had to resort to running around the tree trunk and just shooting him with salty arrows because I tried and failed killing him with melee 10 times in a row. And I am not horrible at the game, you know? I beat the game on Woe with like 50 deaths, and 10 of them were to this guy. He is just so overpowered right now. It's ridiculous, honestly. Next we have the Mant. Gives you 1,000 raw science, and a guaranteed gold card, obviously. Doesn't actually drop anything else. He's weak, though. Maybe a C tier. He's really easy to kill. He only has one attack, which will likely kill you, which is his explosive attack. When he leans forward and his chest, you know, explodes. He's pretty, as I say, he's easy to kill, but he doesn't give you anything unique. So I can't really put him massively high up on the list. You need to kill him to complete the game, obviously. So yeah, C tier. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on it. If you have any differing opinions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next Grounded video. Have a great rest of your day.